Denny Hamlin was only a few corners away from finally winning the one race that has haunted him for nearly 2 decades. Everything was in his hands. Denny Hamlin had done almost everything right. He had put himself in the perfect position to finally win the Brickyard 400, a race that has escaped him throughout his entire NASCAR career. With only a restart standing between him and victory, it looked like this could finally be the year he crossed Indianapolis off his bucket list. Then, in just a few seconds, it all disappeared. But what happened next caught almost everyone by surprise. There wasn't a crash, and there wasn't a mechanical problem either. The race turned on a single restart, where one small mistake completely changed the outcome. And after climbing out of the car, Hamlin didn't point the finger at Corey Heim. He revealed the moment he believes Joe Gibbs Racing let the Brickyard 400 slip away. So what really happened on that final restart? And why does Hamlin believe the race was lost before the green flag even waved? Stay with us until the very end. Before we get started, if you enjoy NASCAR news, race analysis, and the biggest stories from around the garage, make sure to subscribe to NASCAR Nation News and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. For most of Sunday's race at Indianapolis, Denny Hamlin looked like a serious contender. He had the speed, his team made the right adjustments throughout the afternoon, and when the race entered its closing laps, he had exactly what every driver wants at a place like Indianapolis: clean air and control of the race. The Brickyard 400 is one of NASCAR's crown jewel events, and despite everything Hamlin has accomplished during his career, this is still one race he has never managed to win. That made the final restart even more significant, because it represented another chance to complete one of the few remaining goals on his URSM. When the late caution came out, Joe Gibbs Racing appeared to have the perfect setup. Hamlin was leading the inside lane, while teammates Christopher Bell and Chase Briscoe lined up directly behind him. On the outside was Corey Heim, with Joey Logano positioned behind him. Looking at the lineup before the green flag, many people expected the 3 JGR cars to work together and give Hamlin the push he needed to keep the lead into Turn 1. Instead, the opposite happened. As the field approached the restart zone, the inside lane never stayed connected the way it needed to. While Logano delivered a perfectly timed push to Corey Heim on the outside, the Toyotas behind Hamlin became separated at exactly the wrong moment. The gap looked small, but at Indianapolis it was enough to change the restart. Heim launched forward with momentum, while Hamlin simply couldn't match it. Once Heim cleared him entering the first corner, Hamlin's chances of winning quickly faded. Instead of fighting to stay in front, he suddenly found himself trying to hold on to a top 5 finish as other cars gained momentum around him. A restart that lasted only a few seconds completely changed the outcome of a race that had taken several hours to reach that point. After the race, some fans questioned whether Corey Heim had raced too aggressively against Hamlin, especially considering that Hamlin co-owns 2311 Racing, the organization Heim drives for. Hamlin immediately dismissed that idea. He said Heim simply took advantage of the opportunity in front of him. Hamlin explained, "Everyone is trying to fight to win the race. When you're clear by an inch, you're going to take that inch." It reflected exactly how drivers think. Nobody gives away a Brickyard 400 victory, regardless of who's alongside them. Instead, Hamlin directed his attention toward what happened before either driver reached Turn 1. He believed the problem started with the execution of the restart itself. According to him, the 3 Joe Gibbs Racing cars failed to stay organized long enough to create the push that was needed on the inside lane. Speaking about the restart, Hamlin said, "It's really more on us and the 20 and the 19 of just not orchestrating good pushes there. We came detached at the wrong time." That comment wasn't made out of frustration alone. He was describing a specific sequence that he believed cost them the race. Hamlin went on to explain that Christopher Bell was trying to help him, but the timing didn't work out the way they had planned. I thought the 20 obviously was on board with getting us the push. It was way too early before the restart zone. I can't go till we get to the restart zone. Bell later told Hamlin that the spacing between the cars wasn't what they expected, and by the time everyone reached the restart zone, the inside lane had already lost the advantage. Hamlin summed up the entire situation with a simple comment that probably captured his feelings better than anything else he said. "Yeah, that's how you lose them." It sounded less like frustration and more like a veteran accepting that one small mistake had cost him one of the biggest races of the season. What makes this loss especially painful is how close Hamlin came to changing the story of his career at Indianapolis. He has won the Daytona 500 3 times, conquered the Southern 500, collected the Coca-Cola 600, and built a Ursum that will almost certainly earn him a place in the Hall of Fame. Yet the Brickyard 400 remains one of the few major races that continues to slip away from him. Opportunities like this don't come around every season, especially in races where strategy, cautions, and restarts can change everything within seconds. While Hamlin was processing another heartbreaking finish, Corey Heim celebrated the biggest victory of his Cup Series career. Hamlin praised Heim afterward, saying the number 67 team deserved the win because they executed when it mattered most. Rather than making excuses, he admitted the outside lane simply did a better job. For Joe Gibbs Racing, this race will probably become an important lesson as the playoffs get closer. The cars were fast enough to win, and they had the numbers on the final restart, but execution ultimately decided the outcome. In modern NASCAR, especially on late restarts, teamwork has to be nearly perfect. Even a small gap between teammates can be enough to hand the advantage to the other lane, and that's exactly what happened at Indianapolis. For Denny Hamlin, the wait for a Brickyard 400 victory continues. The frustrating part is that he had the speed to win. According to Hamlin, the race slipped away because the restart didn't unfold the way Joe Gibbs Racing had planned. After coming that close, this may end up being one of the toughest Brickyard losses of his career. Do you agree with Denny Hamlin's assessment that the restart execution cost him the Brickyard 400? Or do you think something else decided the race? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to NASCAR Nation News, and we'll see you in the next one.